Okay, so this arrived yesterday, which is the Samyang 50mm t1.5 Cine lens, and I was pretty excited when I ordered this because it's my first cinema style lens. I've got lots of very decent photography, Canons and Lumix and all sorts of stuff, but this is the first kind of like cine style, which I know it's at the end of the day it's just a lens, but having the gear on there for the follow focus and the clickless aperture was quite appealing to me, and it looks more like a cinema lens rather than your something you'd see a tourist hanging around his neck. Anyway, so that's the box. Let's get rid of that. Let's have a look at the actual lens. Here we go. Now it feels lovely and solid. It has a very nice and smooth. That was the lens cover clicking, by the way. It has a very nice and smooth focus and aperture, and if we have a look, we can see it does the old the James Bond thing of opening and closing very smoothly. It's nicely sort of weighted metal. This is some sort of aluminium finish. Doesn't feel plasticky. It feels and looks the business. It really does. As you can probably tell by the tone of my voice, it's not all roses, unfortunately. Anyway, I stuck it on my A7s and I stuck it on my GH4. And I did a little bit of basic testing, just filming around the house, seeing how much brighter it was than some of my other lenses, and it is pretty bright. Oh, here's the lens hood, by the way. Where's that gone? There you go. That's a lens hood for anyone that's interested, which is just a lens hood. So I stuck it on my GH4, which makes it look pretty cool. Like I say, it looks great. But straight away, as soon as I got the footage into my computer, I noticed it just looked kind of smeary and just not right. So I thought, hang on a minute, this isn't right. So I checked it again, checked my focus. The footage still looked, in 4K, the footage still looked a bit fuzzy and not nice, wide open with this lens. So then I started a whole sort of afternoon of testing. What it's resulted in is me basically testing almost all of my lenses in every aperture because I was doubting myself whether I was being too demanding, and now I'm starting to get some pretty decent lenses like the 70 to 200 Canon 2.8 and the 42.5mm Nocticron for the Micro Four Thirds. I'm starting to get some decent lenses now. So I just thought, am I just being too demanding? So I just basically tested the tits off of everything, including the new one. And no, I'm not. This lens does not hold up well at all. What my findings were, yes, it's fast. It's faster than every other lens I've got wide open at 1.5. Shutter speed wide open was 250th of a second. Nearest second place was the Canon 1.8 50mm was at 200. For the same exposure, for the same lit scene, obviously. And then behind that we had the Nocticron, which is a f1.2 native lens, and that came in at 125th of a second for the same scene. So it's very fast, and it's sharp, but you have to be to make it sharp. It has to be at f4. To make it acceptable, it has to be at 2.8. At T2 and at T1.5, this is a smeary, chromatic, aberrated piece of abomination. It really is not acceptable. It shouldn't have been sold, in my opinion, as a T1.5. It should have been sold as a T2.8. Wipe those other numbers off there, and it should have basically started there, not gone any higher, not gone any wider. So yeah, very, very disappointed. It's possible this is a one-off. It's possible I could ask for a replacement and that would be perfect. But that just reminds me that, I know I don't have a massive problem against Samyang. I've got a couple other Samyang lenses. I mean, this is being filmed on my 14mm Samyang lens on the A7s at the moment. So, they do good, affordable lenses. But this is a step up in price from my other Samyang lenses, and it's a step down in quality. So I've got to be in my bonnet about their quality control, because it took me 5 seconds to see that this lens wasn't great, and since doing some more really thorough testing, I'm sure this is not a great lens. it's perfectly acceptable, like I say, if you stop it down. But I wanted this to be a low light lens. I wanted this to go on my A7S and be great at nighttime stuff, shooting wide open, yada yada yada. And if I kept it, I couldn't use it for that because it would just produce smeary, unsharp results. So it's definitely going back, and I think, pretty sure, I'm still doing a little bit investigating, but I think I'm going to decide to go for the Sigma 50mm 1.4 art lens, which has not had a bad review from anyone. I mean, this had great reviews from loads of people, so I know reviews aren't always to be trusted, but the Sigma art seems to be general consensus that is incredibly sharp. Anyway, there you go. That's my rant over, guys. If you want this for low light, big thumbs down. If you want this for a kind of because at the end of the day, £400 is a cheap lens for a Cine lens. If you want it for kind of general out and about in bright conditions, sort of f 4 and up, 2.8 is kind of acceptable. If for HD work, you probably get away with 2.8. But as soon as you go to 4K, the benefits of the 4K is all that extra sharpness and detail, and this does not cut it as wide open from 4K, not at all. Anyway, rant over, guys. That's my opinion of the Samyang 50mm t1.5. I would say don't get it. A few other people on Facebook and online have said that they love theirs. It's just my opinion, but I've showed you some of these examples, so hopefully that gives you some idea. I'll sign out there, guys. Okay, I'll keep you posted on what lens I get, and I'll do a review of that, no doubt, because it's kind of a good way for me to investigate new lenses when I get them, is to do a quick test. Okay, guys, bye.